The Arizona Opera's Next Gen initiative is meant to expand and diversify the next generation of opera audiences and artists. Programs include taking opera to Arizona schools and community venues. Here to tell us more is Cassie Hollerbach. She's the Director of Education and Community Engagement for the Arizona Opera, and Sedona Libero, a mezzo-soprano, and first year. When I hear mezzo-soprano, I'm automatically floored. I want to get to you in a second here. But Cassie, this Next Gen initiative, give me a better definition of what we're talking about.
Yeah, so specifically the Arlen M. Brewster Opportunity Tour is really our K through 12 program. And so this tour goes into schools around the valley and in Tucson as well. And throughout the span of a year, we serve over 40,000 students in schools, over 150 schools. And so we take an adapted opera. So the one we're going to talk about that Sedona was in is Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf, which is actually an adaptation of Don Giovanni. If you know that story, we've changed it a little bit to make it very kid-friendly. And we put it in English. We take a mini set. We take the show and costumes and 5 artists, and they perform for 30 minutes for the students of that school.
And this is this opportunity.
Opportunity. Yeah. Yep, exactly.
All right, Sedona. So how does it feel? I mean, trained in opera, opera is your life, and yet you're doing the Big Bad Wolf here. How do you go about doing it? Talk to us about this.
I think it's really a fun show. Doing that type of show, the Big Bad Wolf, the opportunity is there to be so expressive. And with the kids, you want to be big and colorful. And that was always really fun for me to show up and bring that energy that you don't always get to do in the same way if you're singing the actual Don Giovanni.
Yeah. The response from the kids, you probably must feed off that, don't you?
Absolutely. The kids, I think, grown-up audiences got to learn from the kid audiences. They're so engaged, they're so excited, and yeah, they just react when we have the wolf come out and howl. All the kids are howling.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, just really fun, really fun.
Cassie, again, this is the idea. Someone, you're a kid, you're watching what we're watching right now, and you say, well, this isn't half bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I can eventually get into it.
Exactly. So I always love to talk about this pipeline. And this really is the start of that pipeline. So our hope is that they see this show, they say, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I love opera. Who knew? And then they go to high school and they come to our student previews where they can actually come to the Opera Center or Symphony Hall and watch the shows. We have our La Boheme student preview coming up. And now they've seen an opera on stage, the full-length opera, and they say, wow, that was really cool.
These are dress rehearsals, correct?
Absolutely.
So they're sitting there watching, I mean, wow.
Yeah, very cool experience. And then hopefully they grow up and become lifetime opera lovers and supporters.
Sedona, the Pullen Opera, Arizona Opera Studio, what exactly, is that what you're involved with?
Yes, so I am in my first year as a studio artist, and it's an opportunity for young artists to bridge between the time that we're in school and the time we step into a full professional career. So we have the opportunity to learn roles, to perform, to understand what it means to do the job, and get that support that we need to take us from our life, training in school to the full-on experience of being a professional.
Give us an example of that support. Is it personalized training? Is it mentoring? What goes on?
So there's an amazing team of people at Arizona Opera. So we have access to understanding what we need to do for the business side, so what we need to have on our websites. Coachings, we can go in and work with a coach one-on-one to prepare a role. Right now I'm working on Musetta and La Boheme. So I've had the opportunity to go and work on that and get really into the music and get comfortable with it and build the character so that when you go into the full rehearsal, you have what you need ready to go and you can put it all together with the rest of the cast.
How many other students are involved with this?
So there are, there's a soprano, there's me, who's the mezzo, we have a baritone, a tenor, and a bass.
All right.
So 5 of us.
Sounds like a band there.
Exactly.
When you talk about kids and schools, is Title I kids involved here?
We do primarily Title I schools. Yeah, so we are so lucky to be able to offer performances for free for Title I schools. So we take everything to the school. All they need to supply is a space for us to do it and the students to watch the show.
What kind of reaction do you get from the students after? We know they go howling with the wolf here,
yes.
but after the performance?
That's my favorite thing. They can continue to howl like the wolf. So I get tons of messages from teachers that their kids will go out on the playground and stage their own operas or
Oh,
pretend to be
wow.
opera singers. And I just think that is the greatest thing. They're taking the art that they saw on stage and they're creating their own art.
Do you get to hear from parents at all?
Yeah, we do. A lot of times they'll come to the performances. They'll say the same thing. They go home. We see them at our student previews. So we hope that we're making lifetime opera lovers.
And your thoughts on just your experience so far with this program?
I absolutely loved it. I think it's really important to bring opera and to bring the arts into these schools and make it accessible for these kids, because they might not come from families that know about this, or they might not be getting any of that at their school particularly. So being able to come in and show them a different way to be creative, to express themselves, to experience, being part of an audience with their peers. It builds empathy. It builds, awareness and,
Yes.
and just things that these kids really need, and
Yes.
gives them ideas and ways to grow.
Yeah, some of us grew up watching cartoons as our introduction to classical music and opera.
Exactly.
This is
Bugs Bunny.
a little closer to the bone here. Cassie, Sedona, good to have you both here. Thank you so much and continued success.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much.